Welcome back. I'm Camille.
And I am Gretchen. And listen, we just got started in my head's like, really?
It's tight. It's
It's
tight.
ti- Y'all, I swear these are for 18-month-old.
Probably. But we are back.
Oh, sorry. We're back,
Back
home
home
beauties.
And what we're going to talk about today. It is
So,
summer.
It's summer, and school is just out. I walked to this. There was a drugstore called Skiller's. That's when you could buy like the fake
the
gum
candy
smoking.
cigarettes.
Who thought of that? That was such a good idea.
Char to be young. Well, yeah, that's good marketing. but that is-
Cigars and cigarettes.
And the white little powder sugar, whatever, you blow it out, poof it out, yeah.
Was
I
that
was so-
crack? What was that?
Well, it was getting you setting up to smoke when you were of
oh,
age.
hey, that makes sense.
You know, I'll tell you what I did. I got in so much trouble. Oh my gosh.
Do
I thought
tell.
my mom was going to kill me. You know when you've done something and you're out late and you're like, I can't get, I mean, you just know they're going to kill you. But I
Yeah.
had walked home from the mall, and this is probably a good 3 or 4 miles, okay?
By yourself?
No, I was with my friend Karen. Karen, it would get me in trouble.
Karen.
She was a Karen.
You're that friend that was a bad influence.
She sure was. And
Camille was an angel.
no, I was a virgin. I was terrified of anything to do with, you know, and I remember I had killed somebody, remember? So I was
yeah.
like, I had this trauma.
That's back about 6 episodes.
Yeah, that's right. So I thought I had killed someone. I did not kill him, but I thought I did. Anyway, go back to anyway, there's a video before or whatever. But so I was going to prayers. I was asking the bishop to pray over me. I was terrified. But this boy liked me. His name was Clark. I don't know if I won't say the last name. Clark. Clark, yeah.
Do you still like Camille?
And Karen.
Oh, wait. Let me
Karen-
talk. Did Karen
had-
get in the way?
No, Karen had her own boyfriend, and she taught me into, like, walking home with these boys, and he liked me, and this guy liked her, and they were making out the whole time. I'm like, oh, no. And I was like, I could barely hold his hand, and then we ended up in some sort of park, and he kissed me. Okay, he kissed
And
my
then
first
he
kiss.
kissed her. Oh, your first
My first
kiss.
kiss ever.
Oh,
And
my gosh. Was it wet and sloppy or was it good?
I was probably my freshman in high school. I was a sinner. I felt so guilty. And I knew I was pregnant. I thought I was so naive. Okay. I mean, I never had that talk. I was raised Mormon, y'all. They didn't talk about the birds and the bees. I didn't know that you had to have sex to have babies.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
just
You thought you got kissed. And
I was
therefore
kissed and
you're
I'm
like, whoop,
pregnant.
there it is.
I was horrified. And I was literally waiting on my period. But I got home, my mother was in the living room.
Oh, wait.
And it was probably 1 or 2 in the morning. I mean, it was
Shut up.
late.
Oh, but you didn't care because you got a kiss from
Well, I
him.
got a kiss, and I was terrified. It was just the most emotional night of my life, y'all.
It was a good, and then it ended like, oh.
And I liked him, but you know what? The girls didn't. My friends did not like Clark.
What's wrong with Clark,
Well,
y'all?
I guess he wasn't born, or wasn't on the right side of the tracks. I didn't care. He didn't come from money, and he was kind of the flare Levi's and longer hair. He's looked more like a wild boy.
Scandalous.
He was a little
Oh, not
But
the
he
flare
liked me.
Levi's.
I was so impressed. But then I walk in the door, my mother's sitting on the couch, and you could just tell, you could just
Oh,
feel that.
That
you know,
redhead in her was
She
just
was.
coming out.
and you could see, when you walk in, your mom's mad. You don't have to hear it. You just know she's going to kill you. And all she says, you wait till your dad gets home. Wait.
That whole threat, y'all,
Oh,
that's
my
child
God.
abuse.
Oh.
You know, because the whole time you're like, I fear dad. He hadn't even come home yet.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy because your mom, I mean, not just your mom, but it's been said over.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
True.
and here's dad, he comes home, he's like, hey, Camille. And she's like, no.
I got to beat you now. Hold on. But I did. I mean, I was grounded. I was grounded for a month.
So you never saw Clark?
I did see him at school, but I was.
They were
But I
making out
wasn't-
in the halls, y'all.
No, actually,
She
I
was
not.
skipping out on class, and she was like,
Oh no!
in the
I
hall.
would get beat. I got beat. No, I got straight A's. I was the pleaser. I was the kid that. Shut up.
Clark was like, I heard Camille's a pleaser.
Oh my. Stop it! Stop it! Oh my gosh! Yeah, it was weird, but it's your first little crush thing, and then you can't remember how it broke up.
You know.
you think you got a new girlfriend or something. I don't know.
Oh no! He was like, I can't wait for you to be ungrounded. It was taking too long.
Well, I wasn't going to take the tongue. I was not going to take the tongue. I swear to God, I thought I was pregnant. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, bless
That
your
is
heart.
so-
Were you just like,
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't even remember. But I was just like frozen.
Wait, was that your first kiss?
Yes.
We were at my friend Connie's house and playing, who decided to play these stupid kiss games? Because to me,
Oh,
it's
I
like,
remember.
I was so shy.
Spin the bottle.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
like, oh gosh. I don't
I was
think,
shy, too.
You don't have your strength to be like, I don't want to play. No,
I don't
no.
wanna kiss
Nowadays,
you.
I'd be like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
But back then, you're like, oh, okay. Nobody sorry, Mike, but nobody there I was like really wanting to kiss. And it
Right.
was my first kiss.
Oh, see,
You know,
in public?
Just
People
the first-
watching?
Yeah, well, everybody
oh.
was. And so
See, that's awful.
then they're looking like, did you swap a tongue?
That's so embarrassing.
You know, and I'm thinking, oh, this is not like it was in the movies. Not like it was in the movies.
Not romantic at all.
To the point that when I would go like to a friend's house, maybe boys would come over and they'd want to play these games, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick. I got to go in the bathroom. Hang out in the bathroom.
But we had a lot more fun. We weren't on phones.
No, we weren't.
No.
That's for sure. And do you remember, Camille? Do you remember this having sleepovers at your girlfriend's
Yes.
house? And you would like be on the living room floor in
Yes.
shag carpet,
Yeah.
eating something nasty like Funyuns, and then falling asleep. Waking up and you're like, oh, it still tastes like a chip. Can you imagine?
Oh, stenchy.
Knowing you and your hygiene of your mouth.
I was not. Oh,
Camille's like, I'm so sorry, y'all. Do you have any mouthwash?
I brushed my teeth always. And I flossed pretty good when I was a little girl.
I know, I did too, but I think there were moments where, you know,
We were all kids, honey.
yeah, we were just like, let's eat chips and soda right before we go to bed.
Yeah. I remember we went camping with a handful of my parents' friends, and they weren't all at school. And there was a kid that was a little older than me, and I loved Aerosmith. I loved rock and roll, and you couldn't ever hear it, you know? So I remember I was headed to his house to listen to music one afternoon, and you'd have thought I was walking over naked because his parents and my parents were, get over there. You know, they were having a flip out. And Scott, his name was Scott. And
Oh, gosh,
and
Clark and Scott. Y'all, this is getting good.
I'm just letting you know my nature back then. I have changed. I am a little bit more. So I've grown up.
Camille's like, I kiss everybody.
No, not everybody, but no, literally, they were bolted in the door. My parents were in the driveway.
What did they think was going to happen?
They thought they were going to walk in on us in the bed, and I was on the floor, and I was going through his albums, going, "Oh, I love her." You know, it was what's that? Pat Benatar.
Oh,
he had Pat
hit me
Benatar.
with your best
That's
shot.
it.
Oh,
So I was pulling out this stuff I wanted to hear,
see.
and he was listening on the bed. He was on the bed. I was on the.
You in his bedroom?
He was, well, yeah, that's where his stereo was.
What?
But the doors open. I had no idea what they were terrified of. And I'm like, what happened? What's the matter? And they were looking at each other like, oh, I think she's just stupid. Oh, she must just be stupid. 'Cause I was
Leave her be. Leave her be, y'all.
I was the most naive idiot. I swear to God. So I'm not now. I have figured all that out. I am a sexual expert. Okay, I mean not for myself, but I have heard. My clients have told me everything.
I know, y'all.
I have heard about anal. I mean, I have gay clients. I mean, I'm telling you, there's not much I haven't heard. Just gonna tell you that.
She's
I'm
felt
educated.
a ball implant.
I
before.
am very educated.
Testicle implant. She's like, well.
They do exist. I mean, who would have thunk? But I guess there's a.
You know what kills me is that this person asked you if you wanted to touch it, and you were like, yeah, sure. He
Well, I had
flops his leg up on the desk, and Camille's like, oh, okay. Wow, that's like the size of a pool ball. It's a number 8, I can tell.
It was actually, that was the size.
Wait, is that what it's?
It really was the size. He wanted big balls, and so literally he
I got big balls,
and it was
I
cute.
cannot lie.
It was a cue ball. It was like literally. But I didn't
Was
want
it-
to
was
offend
it
him by
like
saying,
hard?
ew, no. It was spongy.
Oh.
I was like, and he said, you're not going to hurt me. Go ahead. You know, so I'm like, I didn't grab, twist, and pull. I just went, oh, it feels almost tennis ballish. She said, precisely. You know, it was, and he's a very high caliber guy. He was a builder. You know,
Wait, did he just whip down his pants and plop his leg up
he
on
did
it?
not flop his leg.
Because there's a space. Your desk is wide, you know. So here's Camille, and way over there is their client. How did that happen?
I think he kind of stood up and leaned over. He was pretty tall, so he could lean over, and I was like, oh. So, anyway. And his partner's there. I wasn't doing anything inappropriate.
Oh, I know. But to me, I'm just like, you just touched another man's junk that had an
I was
implant.
single. I didn't betray anybody. And it
I'm
was
not
more
saying
about,
that.
you know how girls go, it filled my boobs. I just got boobies. You know, I just got booby implants.
Yeah.
Girls do that. Remember? They're like, look at my boobs.
Yeah, maybe that
And
was
he
what-
was so eager to show his balls off. He really was.
Yeah.
I didn't ask. He was just like, look.
wrinkly like normal balls
No,
are?
no. I'm telling you, no. They were taught. They were taught. They were, I mean, you could have, they were firm. I'm like, are they swollen? Either no, their swelling's gone down now. I was impressed that they were really just. There was nothing wrinkly about that.
Do you think they're going to have? Do you think they're going to have like saggy balls? You know,
if they take them out.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying. You know, gravity over time.
With that size,
because they don't wear they don't wear a bra for their balls.
No,
so.
I don't think there's a problem. I think those balls will still be tight.
Oh.
And that's what his partner wanted. That was his kink. So
is that like the man's version of boobs?
I think
for a gay man that's their.
What he said.
Oh,
he said I would liken it to a husband wanting you to get breast implants or something. I said, well, I don't need them, but you're right. I can see that.
Question for you, Camila. Maybe I'm sure you asked lots of questions.
I did.
Like, can they ride a horse?
Well, there were certain things he was, kind of admonished not to do. And some of that was real athletic things or straddling things. I mean, it could cause a rub. It was a foreign element in his testicle.
Okay, so are they still sensitive once those implants are in there?
The balls are always sensitive. He actually said there was less sensitivity because, I could squeeze them a little bit, it didn't hurt at all. So there's a covering over them. They weren't as sensitive. But there was a concern that there was, they weren't going to have children, but if he had sperm, it could be like...
Where's it going?
Well, no, his sperm would come out, but he may have fertility issues. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they're warmer. And they say that, tighty-whities can be hard on your testicles. So you don't want them too tight or too hot. You don't want to ever get too hot.
I feel like people, I don't know, y'all. I feel like men don't wear tighty-whities anymore. Like they're either a sport boxer or you know what I'm saying? But
they still sell them.
The underwear part,
a little bit more spacious.
If Aaron walked out in those, I'd be like, it's kind of like granny panties.
Well, and I've been starting to wear those. I'm like, I'm just going to get comfortable. I'm so sick of my thongs.
I know, Camille.
But summer's here. And where I wear white shorts, I got to wear that.
Listen, here's the scoopy. Let's talk about boob sweat. Because it is summer.
What do they call it? Moobs? Or what?
Swoob. Sweaty boobs.
Okay. Sweaty boobs.
So we're talking men in case you're like, what is that? Because the crease of the skin, Yeah.
Or they rub together
hot.
if there's
hot there.
They're too.
Yeah. So, what do you do? Do you put? I know people that have put deodorant under there because it's
really?
Yeah, you get like a stench because it's sweaty area.
Well, I mean, I think taking a shower will help that.
No, but I'm just saying, well, she hasn't lived in Texas, y'all, where it's so hot
I have not.
that you're going to go out
I have
for
been on
the
the farm.
day.
I've worked on the farm, and they do get hot. I don't put powder or anything on there, though. I don't. What do you do?
Well, I learned living in Texas.
So
you put powder on those areas, y'all. They lie because it turns to paste.
Right. It's like, I ain't doing that.
It doesn't keep you dry. It turns to paste, and then you're like, ew. There's like filmage.
I'll tell you what I have done before, though, and you might laugh at me. Y'all. But this is my homemade remedy thing, and this is what I thought of myself. It's all my thinking. I did get some diaper rash ointment. Mm-hmm. Okay, it has zinc in it. Okay, because I did have, how my thighs touch. I have thigh touches. Okay, do your thighs touch? No, probably not. She don't have thigh touch, but some of us girls that have thigh touches, I got a little bit of a rub going on.
Yeah, like a chafing, right?
Yeah, ouch. And it was a rash. Chafing, yeah. And it was, so...
It's a chafing dish.
So I would, if I had a rash here, or if I had... Yeah. I might put a little diaper rash ointment on there.
You know what's another good thing, y'all, is bag balm.
Isn't that kind of what that is?
Bag balm is what you put on cow udders.
Oh, really?
So it's a petroleum type.
Oh.
But it's an antiseptic.
Interesting.
No, antiseptic.
What does it have in it? Like eucalyptus?
I don't know, Camille.
Or oregano? I mean, what's it got in it? This antibiotic?
Whatever it is. Like, I used to put it on my nipples when I was nursing, and they would crack. And so your baby could still...
What? Wait a minute.
Says the woman that grabbed fake balls.
Well, I didn't have that bloody titties.
I didn't have bloody titties
either. They're
cracking. Because of nursing. Did you ever nurse your babies?
Well, I didn't. I did, but not. Well, I guess not as long as you. I never had cracks.
Well, they
get dried.
They hurt because they're latching on and all that kind of stuff. So y'all,
women, when the teeth start coming in, it's time. I mean,
girl, they were 12, so don't.
I ain't judging.
They were starting high school. I put it into
I
it.
ain't judging.
No, but the bath bomb, like,
And
here's
so
the
you
deal.
like that?
Y'all, bath bomb is like good for if you have like
You
cracks
should get
in
us
your
some.
heels. You can get it at the Walmart, Camille.
Okay, well, let's get it. Let's try it out.
I love bath bomb.
Why
I've been using
not?
it forever.
Seriously?
Yeah, because it's got
Still on your cracked nipples?
my nipples are fine now, girl. But if you have a rash, if you have cracked heels, if you have dry
Interesting.
knuckles, like bath bomb is
I haven't. I
good.
know we all. Baby.
Do you know what here's what I love, but here's what I don't love.
What?
So at nighttime after my shower, I've been putting castor oil all over me
Yes, that's good stuff.
like a lotion, but it doesn't rub in. It's
I know, it
very
stays on.
thick and it's very hard to use. You know what I'm saying? So
true.
then I go to put on something to sleep in. I'm like, what can get stained? It's gonna have boob smar, and I put it on my navel.
I'll tell you what you can mix castor oil with is tallow.
So I was.
Have you tried that?
No, but I saw maybe
ad
it was
for it?
Pinterest.
Yeah.
And it was face cream.
Yes.
That was castor
Tallow and
oil
castor oil.
Tallow.
And that should actually go in your skin a little bit easier.
Oh.
But I will put it right here under my eyes every night. I put it in my eyes. I put drops of
I know.
castor oil in my eyes.
I know.
I do. And I wake up, and again, I just feel like my eyes are a lot clearer. And
She's peeing in the corner of the room because she can't find the bathroom. But
good thing I know the layout of that
peeing
damn
in her
house.
yard and she's peeing in her room. It's
Just
crazy.
the yard. Just the yard.
Hey, it is summer. Are you going to pee in the yard this year?
No, I have not yet done that.
Have you ever put deodorant down in the cooch?
Never. Like for the sweat or for odor?
Both.
Oh, I have not.
I mean, y'all, you think about it.
I mean, I guess you could. Why? The skin. I mean,
It's skin and it's foldy.
it is
It's
deodorant.
foldy, and yeah.
Well, I've never. I mean, that might burn your.
What
little-
about like under your butt cheeks?
I've never had that either. Is that the swass you're talking about?
That would be it.
You get swass.
But men, do
men
y'all?
get swass.
You should put it around your swalls and your.
Well, maybe the
swass.
a-hole. I mean, I think that would probably be where that swass is coming from, right?
Men don't use back balm down there. You don't need it. You need something to pull out the stench.
Like what?
I you know this from at the gym when somebody that's been sweating
I
a
know.
whole lot, there's a different smell
Well,
that comes from that area. And I'm not saying they smell like poop.
it's
I'm
acidy
just
though.
saying
It is acidy.
there's a different smell.
She's whispering now. It's a
we were
different
somewhere.
smell.
I'm making a point. Aaron and I were somewhere, and it was somewhere in public. I don't know if we were. Oh, I know where we were.
Where?
So, Rock the Block on HGTV.
Yeah.
Their new season happened here in Utah.
I know. I love that.
So we went last weekend to see the homes that are in this particular season. So did everybody else in Utah. It was
A sweltering.
so full of people, and there was
And
no
hot.
AC going
It's
on.
hot.
The whole place on some of this, we were like, it smells like swass.
Can you imagine being in a big crowd like? Oh.
Yeah, and but
I would have a hard time.
I'm like, I don't want that up my nose.
No.
Like I don't know that I want
No.
that up my nose.
No.
So it was so funny because we walked past somebody, and Aaron and I both would be like,
Oh dear.
"Is that us? Is that me?" Because I think sometimes God love these people, but I think sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't.
Or you're
know.
used to
You're
yourself.
So used to it, you don't know.
Yeah, you're used to yourself,
until
yeah.
Joe Public is like, oh.
Well, and I've been to Memphis, and I'll tell you, I went to Graceland, okay, and that is just a
I've
humid.
been to Memphis.
I've been to Memphis.
I sweated my ass off.
I did.
In Memphis.
I couldn't even wear makeup.
Couldn't
It was
even wear
so.
makeup.
I mean, it was just going to wash off anyway. Why the hell would I do that? I was a sweaty mess. That is the worst.
You ever had your throat just spaz out tickle? I just got possessed.
Oh my god! But it was, and everyone was just glistening. I mean, we were all just wet. Just wet with sweat. And
It was your
Elvis-
hair like sticking on your face.
Well, I pulled it up. I didn't. I was doing one of these
Camille,
things.
like,
I'm like,
I got my
Yeah.
twisty tie on my
had-
hair.
I was not going to have that swoosh on my face. And I wore just, again, the basic bra, the basic t-shirt. And yeah. But Elvis, you see him in, when he performs, and he's got these big sweat marks. He's just glistening sweat. I don't think he stunk. I bet he did not stink. Because I think when you sweat like that, you're cleansing yourself. That's one of the cleansers of your body. Is sweat.
Of course it is, but you've also been around people that you can tell they ate something nasty.
Okay, well that's
cleansing.
True. Well, it's coming through your pores. That is cleansing, whether you want to smell it or not.
I was in an Asian country. Not going to say which one.
Kimchi.
Was staying on the high. I don't know, really high floor of a hotel.
Yeah.
During Miss USA, and coming down the elevator, you know, it stopped on almost every floor.
Oh dear.
And business people were coming in, and oh my gosh.
Wow.
In a small elevator cavity with kimchi smell coming out your pores. It was like
I had a client, very wealthy client. He would travel first class and everything, but he said, I'd have to go to Asian countries. And he said, I would overnight flights and you just smell kimchi farts. It's like, I was like, don't say that again. That just sounds so sauerkrautish, so gross. Seriously.
Fermented is.
Ferment, that's right. I know it's good for you, but not good for everybody else.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my Lord, look at the time.
How the hell? We're going to have to cut. Oh my gosh, we could just keep going, y'all. Seriously, if you're a producer or if you are a showrunner to networks and you are like, these women are just batshit crazy.
We need some entertainers to entertain y'all. We're your girls.
All right, everybody. See you next time on Back Home Beauties.
Bye.